Coming up next on YCU News, a New Hampshire businessman wants to buy more property in the state. See why Manchester, Vermont is the center of the horse world this summer. U.S. Senator Bernie Sanders says he has a plan to help the U.S. Postal Service trim its costs.
Now, your daily digest of the Dartmouth-Lake Sunapee region and central Vermont. News, sports, weather, public affairs, and all that's happening in our area. The news on YCU, your local view.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us for this Friday edition of YCU News. I'm Ashley Perkins. A New Hampshire businessman with ties to the North Country wants to buy more property in the state. This time, it's land in Unity. Guilford resident Dan DeGuess may develop the property, and this is a source of concern. Sullivan County Commissioners want to know more about DeGuess's plans for the 600 acres. The Commission needs to approve the purchase and sale agreement of the land sale. If the 13-member county delegation agrees to the sale, it will cost the county nearly $300,000. DeGuess once owned the Berlin Car City dealership. He and a business partner bought the former Balsams Resort in Dixville Notch. The Balsams has yet to reopen as a new company. Sullivan County Commissioners meet again next week. The meeting begins next Tuesday at 8:30 a.m. at the county building in Newport. Federal food and drug officials want to protect people from eating contaminated fresh vegetables and fruits. A new law aims to do that and will affect produce farmers everywhere. U.S. Representative Ann Custer and her congressional colleague Senator Jeanne Shaheen will hold the hearing to discuss these changes later this month. Known as the Food Safety Modernization Act, the law applies to growers and sellers of fresh, uncooked produce. The act applies to fruits and veggies typically eaten raw. How the two parts of the act will affect produce growers and consumers is being studied. Custer and Shaheen invite the public to meet at Dartmouth College's Hopkins Center of the Arts on August 20th. The hearing runs from 9:30 to 11:30 a.m. People who cannot make the forum but wish to comment on the proposals have until November 15th to do so. Check out the FDA's website at fda.gov. Residents of Chester, Vermont may learn soon if a Dollar General store will be coming to its downtown. Developers wish to build a 9,100 square foot variety store on Route 103. The Chester Telegraph reports the store would be next to the pizza shop and across from the diner. Town leaders continue to discuss the proposal to see if it would be a good fit for Chester and its future. The Development Review Board meets at 6 p.m. on Monday night in the Town Hall to continue its study. Chester Town Hall is located at 556 Elm Street. U.S. Senator Bernie Sanders says his plan to help the U.S. Postal Service trim its costs will save workers' jobs. Sanders says allowing the Postal Service needs to be allowed to use its revenue to meet its expenses. Instead, it is required to pay the retirement plans of workers first. That drains money that could be used to pay operating costs. His plan would allow Saturday mail service to continue. Mail sorting locations, including the White River Junction site, could stay open. The plan differs from a proposal by two colleagues, a proposal by U.S. Senators Tom Carper and Todd Corbin. Vermont roads and highways damaged by heavy rains this spring and summer are getting some help. The federal government is awarding the state $3.2 million. This money on top of an emergency $1 million grant President Barack Obama earlier approved. Federal government, Vermont Governor Peter Shumlin, says the money will be key to meet road repair costs. 3 people are in the running to be Vermont's next Secretary of Education. None of the candidates are being named as the selection process continues. Governor Peter Shumlin will decide who will lead the state's public school system. Current Education Secretary Armando Villaseca is stepping down after a 1-year commitment to that job. When YCU News returns, I'll show you why Manchester, Vermont is the place to be for horse lovers this summer.
The YCU News continues in a moment.